Hi everyone, happy Monday. This is week 7. I thought I'll show my face this week. So this week we will be focusing on the all the eye conditions report that we've been working for the last couple of weeks, and we will be introducing the topic of cortical visual impairment. So what to do week 7? So the textbook readings is the cortical visual impairment textbook that we have with Dr. Christine Roman. We have the chapter 1, an overview of cortical visual impairment, and chapter 2, medical and other causes of cortical visual impairment. So some of you may have finished this reading, and so you can revisit it and get an overview of what CVI is. And then we will be having other readings where we have attached the PDF or the presentation. So the big topic is CVI. So we have something called cortical versus cerebral visual impairment. The PDF is attached, and then we have some medical presentations on CVI, and we also have optic nerve hypoplasia, a PDF which is attached, a small reading. So not too much reading, but I think you will get an overview, and you're going to read all your peers' eye condition reports as well, so you will understand a lot of eye conditions this week. So this week discussion is big. So what we are going to do is, all of you submitted your eye condition reports. So I will be posting all of them by Monday night in separate discussion forums. So you can choose any of the eye condition reports. You choose 3 of them and respond to them, give them critical comments about the eye condition report, whether you understood, you did not understand, things like that. And then make sure you give critical comments and good comments as well. And then apart from that, you also need to answer questions asked by your peers in your own forum. So you have to respond to 3, which is not yours. And then you also have to, throughout the week, respond to what your peers are asking with regards to the eye condition report you worked on. So this week, spend a lot of time in discussion, and you will see that this week's discussion is 20 points worth. So make sure you are participating in this forum throughout the week, rather than just, like in the middle of the week and then at the end of the week. Just try to read every day of the week, so that way you get to understand many eye condition reports. We're not restricting to 3, but you'll be graded on 3. So you can read as many as you can. And then complete the eye condition participation reflection. This has to be submitted individually. So whatever you did, so it's just answering 3 questions, writing it in a Word document, and attaching it in the assignment section. And your comments will be kept confidential. So to give you an overview of cortical visual impairment, so our district TVIs, we use the following CVI definition in our the functional vision report that we submit for students who are diagnosed with CVI. So let me read that for you. It's cortical visual impairment is caused by damage of the visual pathway to the brain. Vision fluctuates with CVI depending on the amount of visual clutter, lighting, and environmental noise. Vision also fluctuates depending on levels of fatigue and illness. CVI can improve over time with adequate interventions and environments that can activate the visual pathways in the student's visual cortex. So a couple of years ago, I had the good fortune of getting a student who was diagnosed by Dr. Christine Roman herself. So I happened to look at one of her reports that she had given and passed on when the kid moved to Colorado. So that gave me a great overview, and this is one of the definitions that I took from her report. As you know, this is a very complicated diagnosis. We've been talking about it since the beginning of the semester. And it's not something that you will learn overnight. You will have many students with CVI, so you will keep learning about this disability, about this diagnosis throughout your career. So, and because this is a medical course, we will focus on how to read a diagnosis of CVI and interpret it in educational settings. So we are going to be focusing on how we complete a functional vision report assessment on students diagnosed with CVI. And there is some other term that it's used interchangeably is cerebral visual impairment. As far as we understand, cerebral is more like an umbrella term that incorporates cortical. So cerebral it has all brain-related visual impairments fall under cerebral term. And both terms are interchangeably used. But as TVIs, we are more focused on the interventions aspect. And the interventions for both, if the student comes with the diagnosis of cerebral visual impairment or a cortical visual impairment, we will be focusing on the interventions, and interventions are pretty much the same. And how do we arrive at the interventions? We arrive at interventions in educational settings with the help of our functional vision assessment, not necessarily just with the diagnosis. So as soon as you see the diagnosis of CVI, we are not going to say, okay, these are the interventions and done. No, we are going to be doing a complete functional vision assessment on these students, and we arrive at our interventions. And as we will revisit CVI throughout our courses, I would recommend maintaining a separate folder in your drive, in the cloud, wherever you can go back to, and called CVI, and you can kind of split into 3 areas, maybe assessment, interventions, and all these articles that we are giving, so you can actually start collecting them, and because you will be referring them throughout your career. So start maintaining a folder on CVI and adding these resources in those folders. And then the other condition we will slightly focus this week is the optic nerve hypoplasia. That's ONH, and ONH is also a brain-related visual impairment. This is a condition that affects the optic nerve, which carries impulses from eye to the brain. ONH is the underdevelopment or absence of the optic nerve combined with other brain abnormalities. So as far as ONH is concerned, for me, it strikes me is it has a wide range of how it affects children. So I had 2 students with ONH, both of them diagnosed with ONH, but one of them completely academic and at grade level and is in college right now, and the other completely nonverbal and highly impacted. So I just find it very interesting that the same diagnosis kind of gives results this drastic between 2 students. That's about it this week. So enjoy reading all your eye condition reports and submit your reflection on your own, post into discussion, and read all about CVI. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.